In today's news video, we cover Morocco send help to Ukrainian armed force. Mobilization around 20,000 Russian citizens in Estonia. Russian armed warship join drills with China. PMs meet with Minister of Defense of Turkey. Enjoy watching and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on important news. The Moroccan government has decided to send about 20 T-72B tanks to the Ukrainian army, which have undergone a complete modernization in the Czech Republic. Rabat made such a decision during the recent Ramstein meeting in Germany, where the delivery of heavy equipment to the armed forces of Ukraine was discussed. This was reported by the publication Mina Defense. Tanks were purchased in 1999 and 2000 from the reserves of Belarus, but the Moroccan Ministry of Defense could not keep them in proper condition. A squadron of T-72B combat vehicles was based in the north of the country to counter the Algerian armored divisions. Before being sent to Ukraine, they were sent to the repair line of Czech enterprises, the message says. In November 2022, the Netherlands and the United States jointly announced that they would purchase and repair 90 T-72 tanks for Ukraine. Who exactly was the seller of the tanks was not publicly announced. As noted by the authors of Le Journal de l'Afrique, Morocco consistently votes for support for Ukraine's territorial integrity during all UN votes. Even more, it is claimed that France supplied Caesar self-propelled howitzers to the armed forces of Ukraine not from its own stock, but from an order package specifically for the ground forces of Morocco. There are around 20,000 Russian citizens resident in Estonia who are in age groups likely to be affected by military call-up in Russia itself, though it is not clear what proportion of this total would actually be required as part of any mobilization. Yannick Magi, head of Interior Ministry's Border Guard and Migration Policy Department, said, "The criminal code states that participating in an act of military aggression is a penal offense." While this would certainly be the case in respect of any of those who fight on the Russian side in the conflict in Ukraine, it would not apply to those joining up to serve on the Ukrainian side, Magi went on. On the Ukrainian side, however, this would clearly not be act of aggression. Fighting on the Ukrainian side is not a punishable act, Magi said. Joining the armed forces of any foreign state in the event of war can, for instance, lead to the withdrawal of an Estonian residence permit. Participating in an armed conflict may constitute taking part in a criminal act, said Magi, a former Center Party minister, continued. The Interval Security Service, ISS, says that the number of people traveling from Estonia to fight in the Ukraine war is in the double digits. As for those who might actually be obliged to serve in the Russian military but who are resident in Estonia, Yannick Magi said these were likely very few in number. We are aware that there are nearly 20,000 Russian citizens of the corresponding age in Estonia. Most likely, however, Russian citizens who have lived in Estonia all their lives will not have completed military service in Russia. The obligation to mobilize arises once military service is completed, he went on. Russia declared a large-scale call-up of around 300,000 people, directly in the continuation of its invasion of Ukraine last fall, a move which almost immediately led to various memes appearing online, mainly playing on the similarity the Russian term for mobilization bears to the Russian word for grave. A further call-up has been anticipated as Russia continues its offensives through the winter. Yannick Magi said anyone notified about a call-up by the Russian Federation should call 1247, the national helpline, to report it. A Russian warship armed with new-generation hypersonic cruise weapons will participate in joint exercises with the navies of China and South Africa in February, the Russian state agency, TASS, said on Monday. It was the first official mention of the participation by the frigate, admiral of the fleet of the Soviet Union Gorshkov, which is armed with Zircon missiles. The missiles fly at 9 times the speed of sound, with a range of more than 1,000 kilometers (620 miles), Russia says. They form the centerpiece of its hypersonic arsenal, along with the Avangard glide vehicle that entered combat duty in 2019. Admiral Gorshkov will go to the logistics support point in Syria's Tartus and then take part in joint naval exercises with the Chinese and South African navies, the agency said, citing an unidentified defense source. On Thursday, the South African National Defense Force said the drills, to run from February 17th to February 27th near the port city of Durban and Richards Bay, aimed to strengthen the already flourishing relations between South Africa, Russia, and China. The exercise will be the second involving the three countries in South Africa after a drill in 2019, the Defense Force added in its statement. The Gorshkov held exercises in the Norwegian Sea this month after President Vladimir Putin sent it to the Atlantic Ocean in a signal to the West that Russia would not back down over the war in Ukraine. Russia sees the weapons as a way to pierce increasingly sophisticated U.S. missile defenses that Putin has warned could one day shoot down its nuclear missiles. China, Russia, and the United States are in a race to develop hypersonic weapons, seen as a way to gain an edge over any adversary because of their speeds, greater than 5 times that of sound, and because they are harder to detect. The Georgian parliamentary delegation, led by the chair of the Defense and Security Committee, Irakli Berea, met with the Minister of Defense of Turkey, Hulusi Akar, in Ankara to discuss the regional security environment, the security challenges of Georgia, the importance of strengthening the strategic partnership between the two countries, as well as cooperation in the field of defense and security. The parties attached particular attention to the security of the Black Sea and Georgia's Euro-Atlantic integration. The host country's defense minister expressed his strong support for Georgia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and integration into the EU, as well as for Turkey's and its agencies' full cooperation in enhancing Georgia's defense capabilities during a meeting between the Georgian delegation and the Turkish delegation, according to the chairman of the Defense and Security Committee. As the head of the Defense and Security Committee, I found it particularly heartening that the Turkish defense minister highlighted their close connection, teamwork, and trust with Minister Berçelads of Georgia, Berea commented. The Georgian delegation thanked the Minister of Defense of Turkey for supporting Georgia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, Euro-Atlantic integration, and development of defense capabilities. The meeting was attended by deputy chairs of the committee, Alexandra Tabatads and Vladimir Chachibaya, committee member, Alexander Elisashvili, and the ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of Georgia to Turkey, Georgi Janjgava.